Let's go, guys. Let's go. Oh my goodness. I was going to make a video yesterday because of the hype. So much hype. But as you can tell, I'm a little bit sick. So I wasn't really feeling it. I wasn't really feeling it earlier today, but I keep watching stuff about it. I'm just too hyped. I just don't care. So, first of all, I'm just going to talk about the game yesterday. Man. Wow. Goodness. Those are the adjectives or verbs or whatever. I'm not an English person. I don't know. But so I'll just go a few plays that I loved in it, especially from Tua. Some of those throws, man, were out of this world. And so I was thinking about this to myself today, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. So you guys realize that it was probably around the second quarter, maybe the third, that Smythe was just getting the ball just bam, 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 over and over again. It was kind of like it was being forced, right? You know, you think about it like, oh, just give it to Smythe, give it to Smythe. There was one time where he came up for the pass, and that wasn't exactly for him, but you get kind of what I'm saying. I kind of was thinking about it because I have a photographic memory, so I was thinking about it. I was like, oh yeah, why would that happen? You know what I mean? Like, I love Smythe. Are they making a point to Mike Gesicki? Oh, look it, we can throw some, you know. I don't think so, but, you know, you got to think it. But if you think about it, though, as a defense, what do you do? And they even talked about during the game, which I watched every second of. I was watching that ish live, which some people are like, but, sometimes you don't want to watch commercials. So I watched it live. I watch most of my games live. But if you think about it, though, to cover the middle and to cover people like Tyreek and Waddle and even other people like Mostert coming out the back, and you got, there's a lot of good wide receivers on this team, Izukama, all those guys. How are you going to cover that? Well, at one point in the game, you kind of see Tua underthrow a few passes, right? And that defender perfectly got, barely touched with his finger and whatnot. That's because the defense was playing their linebackers back. So they kind of did like a box formation where they had the safeties up top and they had the linebackers under it, and they pushed them away further from the line. And in those moments, you think, oh yeah, let's just run the ball. But I think in the heat of the moment, you got Tua throwing dots everywhere. I understand, but I think that's why they had those moments with Durham Smythe. Durham Smythe would go underneath those boxes. He would go right underneath it, and they would just drop it to him 3 times, like pop, 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 just over and over until the defensive coordinator goes, okay, well, now we got to cover that. I think that's what they were trying to do. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that's what they were doing, but that's kind of what it seemed like. Hey, let's pull some of these linebackers away from the inside of the middle routes or the deep routes, because it seems to, especially at the beginning, because at the beginning, that's what I think it was. Tyreek across the middle, where he's coming from the I think that's X, was coming from across, and he dropped it right to him, and he juked and went up. And then not too long after that, Waddle did the same thing on the opposite side. As soon as those two things happened, they had to cover it. But so I know I'm just ranting for a couple minutes about that, but goodness gracious, guys, that final drive, that gave me some Drew Brees, Peyton Manning vibes. I know those are big names, but those were big throws, man. Like both of those big throws, both the one where he was on the run and he dropped it right into Tyreek, full stride, guy right behind him, just perfect throw. That was on third. On the final drive of the game, to them, this is our final shot, bop, right in there. The final touchdown of the game. It was third down. I know that much. I think it was 3rd and 10, or it could have been 3rd and goal, and they were not fucking close. I watched that. I'm sure most of you have. I've watched that so many times. How did he fit it in there, dude? Like, it was like that much. It went like this. Like, perfectly over that guy's head, and Tyreek just caught it. That is insane. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just tripping, but I'm just like, I played quarterback a lot of my life, and I know those kind of throws are chemistry. That is Tyreek and Tua year 2 chemistry. And it is beautiful to watch. I am so glad I never got to see Tannehill do it with anybody, because every time he would start getting wide receiver, they'd take him out. So I'm stoked. Tua's getting all the hype he deserves. MVP talks. Those bandwagoners be coming. I've posted about it a few times today on Twitter or X or whatever the F you want to call it. Bandwagoners be coming. All right. If Tua even does half of what he did yesterday, bandwagoners, 100%. Analysts are already bandwagoning. I saw a few things. I actually got a comment back from Ryan Clark. I wasn't trying to be a douche or anything like that, but I was kind of just trying to state something, because it was like 2 weeks ago he made that comment about Tua's weight. Maybe it was 3 weeks ago. Time goes by. You know what I mean? But I was trying to be like, hey, I know this is a while, but it's still close enough. It's not like a half year ago. It's not 3 months ago. It's within a month to 3 weeks. All right? And Tua balling out, and then he makes a video on it, and so I kind of was like, oh, I think I said like, well, there's our quarterback. There's our out-of-shape quarterback. He did pretty well today, or whatever. I said something sarcastic, and he commented something, and I was like, uh-oh. Because I wanted to state this real quick. This is I've never been on Twitter before this account. I was, but not really. Like, I didn't post. I didn't do anything like that. I kind of stayed under the radar. I'm actually more big in like TikTok and stuff like that. I've been TikTok famous a few times. I try not to dwell. I'm not interested in that as much anymore, and I'm more focused on football. So I thought, well, hey, I'm watching Doug. I'm watching Omar do videos. Why can't I? You know what I mean? And they're great, and I still watch their videos. I mean, just because I make videos doesn't mean I don't watch theirs. So, and I've been watching everyone's videos. I watch Pat McAfee, Rich Eisen, Acho. I don't want to say it because I'm going to say his name wrong. But I've been a fan of those guys for a while, before I even started doing this stuff. So when I see, Stephen A., I think it's Smith, gloating about Tua and how he didn't always nothing. That dude would yell at people that he didn't think Tua was going to be nothing. If it wasn't that, it was that Tua has the maybe, but it's not going to do it. You know what I mean? And so I'm not trying to bash nobody. I'm just trying to call people out on their crap. And you know who was a Tua number one right off the bat? Rich Eisen. Rich Eisen, even when Tua was at his worst 3 years ago, Rich Eisen was there saying, hey, guys, like, he's just having a bad game, doesn't have what he needs, all that stuff. But he was backing him. Acho, same thing, man. That dude, there's no one else really besides Rich Eisen and him that really just stood by Tua and was like, this is the guy. Believe it. You know what I mean? And so it is very interesting to see all these people come through the woodworks apologizing. I posted on Twitter too of a guy that has like receipts of all the things he saved and stuff. It's hilarious. It's a good kind of cringe, you know what I mean? Where you're like, hey, he's not wrong, man. Especially if Tua does MVP this year. But yeah, man, it's just a great game. If you guys have any comments for me or questions or anything like that, please let me know. I'm on Twitter more. If you want to see a different outlook, a different opinion, I'm the guy to follow for sure. I'm not going to sit there. I'm not going to be overly aggressive, but I'm going to state the facts. I've played football my entire life, just like a lot of us do. I've watched it my entire life. I've been coached before. I know my stuff. It's just not the field I chose. I chose film, but it's still a passion of mine, and I still scream just as loud as everyone else does. When I saw that final thing, man, I was doing backflips in my heart. But so dumb. But I appreciate you guys watching. And hope I see you on my stuff. I don't know, man. Fins out!